noises you're hearing, you're just undergoing pain. And you typically think that the point of that is to get people to run, to disperse, but there was nowhere to go. So in this instance, to me, it seemed like the only reason to do that was to inflict fear and pain. And it worked. It worked, because I was terrified. The people around me were terrified. We got into a group and we chanted to rouse our own spirits and express solidarity with each other and closeness. And eventually, I guess the police got tired of using that toy on us, and they started to close in. They closed in on us from all sides. Briefly, there was, they stood at around 10 feet, just kind of banging their shields, looking at us, intimidating us, making us feel small. And then they moved in. And as they did, my arm was right at my side. And that's because I hoped that this body language, that this gesture would reflect my nonviolence and hopefully de-escalate the situation, and hopefully we could all get out of there without being beaten. But the officer that approached me took it as an opportunity to grab me on the shoulders and knee me in the balls. And several more officers grabbed me. I felt more impacts to my side and my lower back, and eventually I was dragged to the ground. I tried to cover my head, and an officer pinned me. He took my left hand, put it behind me, zip-tied it, and said, "I've got your left hand. I'm going to hit you again if you don't give me your right." And it was like stuck under both of us. So I managed to comply, and I was loaded into a van. I was loaded into a van and taken to Little Caesars. And I just heard something that Jay said earlier, which I hadn't really considered before. But one of the things that I saw at Little Caesars was a young woman being taken off. I got there among the first people, and so I saw most of the people who came in. And one thing that I saw that I found especially disturbing was a young woman who came off the bus wearing one shoe and no pants.
Oh my God.
And none of us was in a position to say anything. And I hope that saying something now is, I hope she finds justice.
Fuck the police!
Fuck the police! Rapists! Rapists!
But I guess what I wanted to say the most is that I came in with this notion that if you bring good energy to these things, and if you show respect to the neighborhoods that you come to, and if you show nonviolence, and maybe you get a citation, but at least you don't get the shit beat out of you.
Yeah.
And it's just not true. But thank you. That's what I came to share.